build all these thousands of data centers is about, to micromanage the world's population through the new financial world order. AI is really about that. We're heading towards digital control systems where we have no more control over our liquid assets. It will be programmable, permission-based, so only what the central planners allow you to use your money for, at what time and place and location will be permitted. And if you're in the wrong place, it's not going to work. And if you're buying the wrong book, it's not going to work. Your money won't work outside a certain zone, whether it's 15-minute prison zone or whatever it may be. It is the totalitarian dictator's dream come.
What if these massive AI data centers that are being built across the United States, the United 50, aren't just for chatbots and internet searches? Some conspiracy theorists believe that all of these data centers, these giant facilities, are part of something much bigger. Why are billions of dollars being poured into warehouses that are filled with computers? Why are they consuming enough electricity that powers a whole state? What exactly is all that computer data and collection going to be used for? Today we're diving into some of the fantastical conspiracy theories that are floating around the internet about data AI centers. From government surveillance claims, secret AI projects, digital control systems, future concentration camps. Well, buckle up, baby, because some of these theories are stranger than fiction themselves. You couldn't even write a movie as good as some of these theories that are going to be brought to you by me. Hard Basis, I'm Clint Allen. Let's get going.
Data centers are popping up all over the country, thousands of them. They also tell us that in order to win this race, we must build more data centers. Trillions of dollars worth more. So that's what they're telling us. We need trillions of dollars worth of data centers to power ChatGPT. But is that actually true? The math just ain't mathin'. And believe me, I am not the only one noticing. Could all of this just be a cover story? What if the AI arms race isn't with a foreign adversary at all? What if it's actually preparing for something else? Something much closer to home. Targeted wiretaps and communication intercepts were more than sufficient because dissent was highly centralized. Today, that is not so easy. They're building AI surveillance centers, allegedly. And even they have major reservations about AI from a commercial perspective. And yet, they want to build 3,000 more data centers. That doesn't make any sense unless what they're using them for is not in a commercial context, if you know what I mean. Doesn't sound like the AI race is at all about powering chatbots or other commercial enterprise use cases at all. Seems like it's about national security. The question is, for which nation? And this is important because functionally, these buildings actually belong to the military surveillance industrial complex. And that is by design, as this arrangement, this public-private partnership, allows them to spy on you 24/7. Allegedly, while laundering your Fourth Amendment protections through this private corporate shield, because technically they don't belong to the US government or military. Which, oh, by the way, could be fusing with Israel. But if you don't want them built, you're either a bot or a CCP spy. That's right. If you don't like AI data centers, you're a terrorist. You don't like Israel, you're also a terrorist. Let me tell you, this type of framing directly mirrors how the state weaponized the war on terror to pass the Patriot Act in order to spy on ordinary American citizens. It couldn't be more crystal clear. We have their attention, and they are actually afraid. I know it may look doom and gloom, but the public is actually winning this battle. They want us to believe that all of this is inevitable, that resisting AI is an act of treason. But let me tell you, this is our country, it's our community, it's our family, it's our friends, it's humanity, and that is exactly why this fight is worth fighting for, and that's why we are going to win.
Well, you got it there firsthand. Woof. All right, so 10 of the most bizarre conspiracy theories that the public has come up with involving the U.S. government. Chemtrails. The government is secretly spraying chemtrails from aircraft to control weather, people's behavior, and to kill us all so they can have all the money. FEMA camps. Every time something happens like COVID, you remember COVID, FEMA camps that were going to be in empty Walmarts, you know? The moon landing was faked. Well, I'm here to tell you, United States government sure went through a hell of a lot of expense to build rockets, send them off, and, you know, to end up having Stanley Kubrick make some kind of video in a warehouse of the landing on the moon, okay? Denver Airport is secretly a government bunker. Weather control machines, DARPA, up in Alaska, controlling the weather. And then they can go through and overtake any country because they'll be able to rain them out or send a cajillion tornadoes there, you know? Our leaders are reptilian leaders. Reptiles are ruling the world. Government is hiding alien technology. Well, we've had our third time where they've put out information. We've still yet to see the bodies pulled out of the freezer from Roswell. Mind control through TV, telephones, 5G, you know, your car. A secret war between factions that are over the government. The New World Order. I just did the New World Order and how absurd it is, and it'll be at the end of the video, and I'll put a link in the description below. Ay, caramba.
Alexa or Siri sets your alarm using a data center the size of a warehouse. So what changed that suddenly requires them to build AI data centers hundreds of times bigger? Let's talk about that. You've already been using artificial intelligence for years. Every time you ask Siri a question, every time Google Maps reroutes you, every time Netflix recommends a show, that's AI, a machine performing tasks that used to require a human brain. And all of it runs on infrastructure that has existed for decades. Nobody seized farmland to build it. Nobody put it on a military base. Nobody locked the public out of the process. It worked. It was built at a scale that matched what it was actually for. Here's what changed. A traditional data center stores and moves your data. The new AI megacenters process it, running billions of calculations simultaneously across thousands of specialized chips. They require 16 times more electricity per rack and 10 to 50 times more water to cool them. Water-free cooling exists. Wind and solar can power these facilities off-grid. The technology is there. They choose not to use it because it costs more upfront. So we end up paying in drained aquifers, strained power grids, and higher electricity bills. Now look at what they're building. In rural Utah, a Shark Tank investor named Kevin O'Leary is building something called Stratos, a 40,000-acre data center complex the size of Washington, D.C. It'll consume more power than the entire state of Utah. Scientists warn it will dump the equivalent of 23 atomic bombs worth of heat daily, spiking nighttime temperatures by 28 degrees, conditions comparable to the Sahara. O'Leary got the energy tax cut from 6% to 0.5% and an 80% property tax rebate. Taxpayers are subsidizing it, and O'Leary himself said the facility will serve national defense clients, the U.S. government. Over 1,000 residents showed up to be heard. Commissioners refused to let them speak. In Texas, the Army is building a hyperscale data center at Fort Bliss. In Utah, another Dugway proving ground. Both are military installations, both fast-tracked. The Pentagon is requesting $29.5 billion for AI supercomputing infrastructure. DHS received $165 billion this year. ICE got $86 billion. They're confiscating private land and using courts to subvert the will of the people to build this infrastructure. And the public is being locked out of every decision. The scale of what they're building only makes sense for something categorically different. What are they actually building?
Yeah, what are they actually building? Well, I hate to break your hearts, folks, but number one, the government's been shitting on us ever since the 1930s, okay? It's only gotten magnified and massified ever since then, to the point now where they're just doing it right out in public, okay? Kevin O'Leary ain't building squat shit, okay? Kevin O'Leary is a famous investor who is the front man, the face of the data center, to help sell the fact that they're going to have 380 football fields of land with nothing but sizzling, loud warehouses for a data center. We are entering the future, and whether we like it or not, this is going to be ran down our throat as hard as possible, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's going to screw up the environment, which it will. Boy, I tell you, we don't hear any of the Biden team and the Democrats running around with the Green New Deal on this, do we? Well, that's probably because all these companies are putting in millions and billions of dollars into their re-election funds. The problem isn't the data centers. The problem is our government representatives, and it always has been.
So Utah has approved the construction of the largest data center in the country, potentially in the world. Twice the size of Manhattan, 5 stories up, and only God knows how many stories down. Because, down there, they are building bunkers for the billionaires. So, of course, the population of the area, I think is northwest of Utah, they didn't want it, but government didn't care. Now, let me say this. Who is behind this? Republicans are behind this. So Democrats want to destroy humanity by making men women and women men, and then destroy humanity. Republicans want to destroy humanity by making AI the new God in who needs human beings. But what they are doing is not that the entirety of humanity will be destroyed, because they will continue existing in a different way. Believe it or not, they think they can transfer, and you have heard this, they can transfer the mind to a machine. Remember that movie Lucy? But a better movie is a movie with a Johnny Depp entitled Transcendence. If you watch that movie very carefully, there are so many messages. I don't even know when the movie was made, but there were so many messages, and we are seeing those things happening today. Now, The end of the movie, there is a huge twist. And the twist, I'm going to tell you, and then, you watch and you will see. The twist is this. At the end of the day, AI is good. Inhumanity is evil, specifically capitalist and the government. Capitalism and the government. Because in that movie, it's like, it is, they want to show you that the government wants you sick. Capitalism cares about themselves and they want to see you die. And AI wants to save you and give you eternal life. However, in the real world, yes, capitalism and government doesn't give a flip about you. But what they are trying to do is to save their skins. As I said, uploading their brains, their minds into machines and having eternal life. They believe they can do that. And in the labs, they are actually doing that, so they believe. The problem is this. When they transfer or upload the mind of a monkey into a machine, they believe they uploaded the mind of the monkey into the machine. But the monkey actually died. And what they have in that machine acting as a monkey is an evil, unclean spirit, is a demon mimicking the monkey to deceive the scientists, believing that they can do that to themselves. So what do the scientists then do? They create all these machines, all these equipments, biological robots. They do all of that thinking that they will be the ones inhabiting those things forever and ever, amen, when they are actually creating all of this to the dead spirits of the Nephilim. Watch the movie Transcendence with a Johnny Depp, and you will see how interesting it is. Reality is this. Doesn't matter what party you support. Democrats want to destroy us one way, and Republicans want to destroy us another way. Why? Both are manipulated by the heart of Satan from the pits of hell. They don't care about nobody.
Well, I'm on board there. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. They're all a bunch of worthless turds. They need the, if George Washington was alive today, he'd be sitting up at Washington with his militia, hauling every one of them, MFers out of there. George would be very upset with us right now. That one's pretty wild, ain't it? That one just really, woo, man.
There's something not right here. I think they're lying to us about why we need to be building all of these AI data centers.
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility.
2 million.
Facilities like this are being used to power things like ChatGPT and other AI tools that are becoming integrated into our daily life.
They're saying that that's what it's being used for, but I'm not sure because there's not that much need. It's like it doesn't take that much power.
That's why I told you.
Right? It's got to be some kind of surveillance thing.
I'm telling
It's
you.
not to power ChatGPT.
Block C, cell A24,
Yeah.
maybe like 2 million square feet.
We have 10x probably around there in terms of the number of data centers and the capacity, quote unquote, of compute compared to other countries. So I do think it's weird. They keep saying we need like more data centers. We already have a shitload of data centers. They literally want the power to know what each individual is doing.
Well, by country, we do have an excessive amount of AI. Well, let me back that up here, okay? We have an excessive amount of data centers, okay? They are not AI data centers. They're completely designed differently. It's just warehousing information like this YouTube video, okay? Computer, I ask something, I'm searching for something on the old interweb. It's got to go somewhere and it's got to send me back information. And, that's what the current ones are basically doing with the integration of the upcoming, AI stuff. which a lot of people misunderstand, okay? Everybody's like, well, man, it just, it really does incredible things. No, it really doesn't. In order for me to get information 10 years ago, I'd have to go through website after website after website, collect that information myself, put it together. So the point is that all the information is there. Always has been. What they've done now, because of computer processing and abilities, is made it to where I can just ask the computer now, and a larger computer shits me back the information that I need to know instead of having to go through hours and hours of web pages, okay? Will we see the internet change? We already are. That went into effect in 2020, and I mean full-blown effect in 2020. I could search anything and everything 2020 and beforehand and come up with some type of web page that would give me the information that I want. And that slowly changed. First thing to change was they wiped out porn. Not completely. There's still some sites that you can go to, but there's just a handful of them. That's all they're going to let you have, okay? That's it. Then, other older data from before 1990, where you could find a web page on horror movies, sci-fi movies, stuff like that. And you'd be able to specifically search for whatever you wanted to find in those movies. That's not there anymore. That's gone. That's long gone. So yes, we are seeing a change in stuff that you don't realize until the majority of it's going to be gone, and someday you're going to be sitting down doing some kind of search on the web, and all you're going to get is AI data of what they want you to know. So that is the real non-conspiracy theory here. They are programming this stuff to tell us what they want us to know and only know. So you might have freedom of speech, but freedom of information is disappearing every day.
This map of the United States will blow your mind. Do you know why? Because it depicts all of the data centers that are currently in the United States. And this is before the AI race. This number is almost 5,000. That's right, 5,000 data centers currently exist in the United States. Okay, well, according to the website that I pulled this from, which is usadatacenters.com, it says that there are 4,313 data centers in the United States, in all 50 states, but approximately 5,000, right? I mean, that's how many are currently in the United States. This is before AI, folks. The first data center to ever even be built in the United States was in 1947. We are going on 80 years of having data centers, and yet you have never even heard about them until now. You have no idea that the data centers are used to run your everyday lives, that they are the reason why you have the cloud and why you have the banking system and why you have your Netflix. And yet here you are protesting these AI data centers because for various reasons that are all misinformation, or rather disinformation. The fact of the matter is that all of the negative information that is coming out about data centers is coming from one place, the CCP, because we are in a Cold War with China, and they are doing everything they can to slow the United States down in development in the AI race, because that is the race for the 21st century. The country that controls AI controls the future. Unfortunately, the people of Box Elder, Utah, which is the location of what will be the world's largest data center, have succumbed to this disinformation and have outwardly voiced and protested against this data center, even though it's going to go forward whether they like it or not. Now, one of the primary arguments that are constantly being touted is that these data centers use a large amount of water. And while that is true historically, the technology has been continuously evolving. And now there is technology available that they are installing in these new data centers that basically use almost no water at all. But you probably don't know that because the CCP is not going to tell you that. Now, the other argument is that it takes a lot of energy regardless of water. And while this is true, everything does take power, it is going to tap into natural gas resources that are already in the area and not actually even touch the Utah's current power grid. And so, again, that negates the concern about utilizing power from Utah. And in fact, this power is going to generate their own power plant on the proposed site for this data center. And the proposed site for this data center, which is behind me, this arid land that nobody lives on, is approximately 40,000 acres. And so when people hear that, they immediately think the building is going to be that large. Well, no, this is a multi-year project, and the first part of the project is going to only involve, I believe, 9,000 acres, and even then it's a series of buildings. So the entire structure itself is not this large monolithic structure that everybody is trying to make you believe that it's going to be. Now, behind me is a picture of the recent opposition at the local city council or the county council that was going to vote on the authorization of the data center. And while this does look like a lot of people, it is approximately 200. Now, before that, there was a protest out in the open that was somewhere around 2,000 people. But the total population within Box Elder is somewhere around 66,000 people. So an extremely small percentage of people are being vocal and the rest are remaining silent.
Well, I've often said, and I'm going to say it again, a couple things that I normally say is that be careful what you believe on social media, okay? Be even more skeptical of what you believe on the news, okay? And definitely just don't fucking believe any of the crap that comes from legacy media until you check it out yourself. Number two, nobody's going to watch your YouTube channel unless you have a train wreck, okay? Obviously, some people will attract certain type of demographics, certain types of political, okay, certain types of whatever, okay. So what he's saying is not completely true there, okay? Not completely a lie either, but I'm just saying be careful, okay? View everything as humor until you have a chance to investigate it yourself.
And keep in mind, we are living right now in the final moments before whatever AI is going to bring us. Those data centers being erected in your town, the ones that you are paying for through higher energy costs, through the legacy environmental cleanup you're definitely on the hook for, those data centers are being constructed in order to eliminate half of all American white-collar jobs. So you hate to use the hackneyed cliche, digging your own grave, but it's not entirely an overstatement at this point. Those data centers going in, destroying the landscape in your town, eating up fertile farmland in some cases, certainly making everything uglier and providing almost no jobs, those are going up in order to facilitate AI. And the one thing, really the only thing we know about AI is it's going to eliminate half of all productive work in the United States. That hasn't happened yet. It's beginning to happen. But all forecasts from the people who are developing it, who have every incentive to downplay the negative effects of the technology they're creating, all the forecasts suggest in the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to see economic disruption on a scale we've never even conceived of.
Okay, first off, Tucker Carlson is just a fucking sellout, okay? I know some of you are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. He doesn't know Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson got away from legacy media, started his YouTube broadcast network and found that it was pretty damn hard. He is now sold out to a larger company who's involved with other large social media people, okay? The whole idea is to get a train wreck, to get views, to get money. If you think Tucker Carlson gets paid the same amount that other people on YouTube who are monetized get paid, you are smoking a lot of dope. He gets paid by far a hell of a lot more than what the average YouTuber makes. Period, exclamation mark. They've got people at YouTube who cater to people like him, who bring in the views, who bring in the big money for the commercials that they push. Careful what you believe, okay? Is AI data centers going to take 50% of the white-collar jobs? No. It's the business people and the companies who are making the products to remove people that are the ones who are going to destroy the economy. But going back to the 50%, no. You can't take a law firm and remove all the entry people, even though they're doing mundane, basic work that AI can do. The whole idea of them doing the basic, mundane work is that they learn all of the ins and outs of being a high attorney who gets the wins and gets the money. If you eliminate that downstream of individual, later on you won't have anybody to fill the upper seats when people retire. Get it? Will there be robots who take over McDonald's at some point in time? Yes, because any retard can do that work, which means any machine can be made to do that work. At best, you might have a overseer who does bagging and other minor items, cleanup, and somebody to throw the stuff out the door. That is the future, just like horse and carriage went to automobiles and the other evolutions that we've seen through time. Do I myself feel that there is some type of lopsided BS going on? The reason why at some point in time in the next umpteen years that we might have over 10,000 data centers? Yeah, I find that to be a bit strange. I mean, is the whole world going to rely on the United States for data centers then? I don't know. Certainly China and Russia won't, because they don't want to send their data to the United States for it to be picked through. What is the end goal? I don't know. But some of the stupidity that people are coming up with, they are way out in left field, in the parking lot, kind of like left field, out of the ballpark. Careful what you believe, careful who you listen to, and we will see you on the next one.